Welcome to 5 Minute Pitch. I'm your host, Liz Saunders. 5 Minute Pitch is the competition that gives entrepreneurs from around the globe the opportunity to virtually pitch their business or product idea for the chance to win a grand prize of $50,000. This season, more than 30 entrepreneurs will pitch their ideas via Zoom conference call to our panel of 5 experts for the chance to advance to the finals and pitch to the judges live in Miami, Florida. Our panel of expert judges includes Greg Mercer, 8-figure Amazon seller and the founder and CEO of Jungle Scout. Michael Jackness, a serial entrepreneur who has spent the past few years building a high 7-figure e-commerce conglomerate while blogging and podcasting about all of it along the way at EcomCrew. Steve Chu, the son of 2 tiger parents, Steve Chu started 2 7-figure businesses while working full-time as an engineering director. He now runs Bumblebee Linens and MyWifeQuitHerJob.com. Scott Voker, 7-figure business owner and host of the Amazing Seller podcast. Today we are joined by guest judge Andrew Udarian. Andrew has started and sold multiple e-commerce businesses and is the founder of eCommerce Fuel, a private community for 7-figure plus e-commerce sellers. This week on 5 Minute Pitch.
And it was about 7 months ago when I released my first bobblehead, and something kind of interesting happened. No one really cared. No one bought the bobbleheads.
Dave, if you did get the $50,000, would you be willing to do a special edition Steve Chu 6-pack shirtless bobblehead if we all helped you market it with our list and things like that? Is that something you'd be open to?
Okay, absolutely.
Perfect.
Just make sure that the packs are very crisp.
Let's hear from our next contestant and founder of MMA Bobblehead, Dave Manley. His passion for sports and mixed martial arts and a desire to display MMA memorabilia in his office led him to develop a premier collectible product, the MMA Bobblehead. Today we'll find out if he's got the product and business model to get the nod from the judges to advance to the next round.
I'm really excited. This has been a crazy journey for me, this business, and all the way even standing in front of you here today. I mean, I not only get to hang out and work with my sports heroes, but now I get to hang out and talk to the guys that indirectly mentored me on starting this company. So yeah, I'm really excited.
This is 5 Minute Pitch.
What's up, Dave?
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
I like your background.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Dave, welcome to the 5 Minute Pitch. Your 5 Minute Pitch starts now.
My name is Dave Manley. I'm the founder of MMA Bobblehead. I'm a huge MMA fan. And for those of you guys who don't know what MMA is, it stands for Mixed Martial Arts. It's like the UFC. One day I decided that I was going to clear off a shelf in my office and I was going to start collecting MMA memorabilia. It's like sports memorabilia. So I decided that I was going to start with a bobblehead of my favorite fighter, Dan Henderson. He is a legend in the sport. So when I went to go buy a Dan Henderson bobblehead, they didn't make it. So I was like, oh man. So I went to my next bobblehead choice, who was the current champion at the time, also very popular, and they didn't make him either. So I went all the way to the top, to the most popular athlete in MMA, Conor McGregor. Nothing came up. And it was right then and right there, I just got hit with a thunderbolt of inspiration. I've always had an artistic background. I've always been creative and made things. I'm a businessman by trade. So I went all in and I decided to learn everything about bobbleheads, from the paint to the clay to the springs and the neck. Bobbleheads have kind of looked the same for the last 50 years. I mean, from sport to sport, the poses might be a little different. Instead of a football, might be a baseball or whatever. But the guys, the athletes always look the same. They're always like this cartoony figure that you can't really tell who it is unless you saw the name on the base. And I just thought, why? Why is that? Why can't someone put more artistry and craftsmanship and care into these things and make them like really nice, like a collectible? And so I set out to do that. I practiced and practiced and practiced. About a year went by until I figured that I could start hitting these fighters up to see if they wanted a bobblehead made out of them. And I was really surprised that none of them really did. It was like I was getting no's, left and right no's, that these fighters didn't want a bobblehead. So I was feeling really dejected and down. And then one day, a fighter saw the artwork that I did, and he wanted to meet because he wanted to get his own bobblehead. And that fighter was Dan Henderson. I couldn't believe it. It was just so unreal. So when Dan said yes to the bobblehead, my life changed. All these fighters started coming out of the woodworks. And when I say fighters, legends. So I went to work. I was really excited, and I'm working on all these bobbleheads. I'm doing a really great job. And it was about 7 months ago when I released my first bobblehead, and something kind of interesting happened. No one really cared. No one bought the bobbleheads. And honestly, guys, to be honest with you, I thought I was going to, lift up my bobblehead to the sky and stand on my soapbox, and all these MMA fans were going to come flocking to me because this is something so cool and unique and has never been done before for the sport. And that was so far from the truth. None of that happened.
Dave realized that in his efforts to develop an amazing product, he had neglected the very thing that would bring his product to the masses: e-commerce and product marketing. Let's see if he was able to turn things around and attract some attention.
So I changed things up really quickly. The budget was almost zero, and for marketing. So I decided, you know what? I want to maybe be the face of the company and let MMA fans in on my world and let them know that I'm not just some corporation or some guy trying to do a money grab, that I'm a massive hardcore MMA fan just like them. And I wanted to kind of pull back the curtain and show people how they were made, and interviews with the fighters, and get it to be more personal. So I started doing that, and I started to get traction. Every guy.
All right, Dave, that's the end of your 5-minute pitch. A great story, and I love the
Great story. Love it.
Being an e-commerce seller can be hard. Competition is tough, your friends don't quite understand what you do all day, and banks don't take you seriously. Well, you're about to get a break. Our friends at Payability provide sellers with fast, friction-free financing so you can buy the inventory that you need, get back to business, and keep living the life you want to live. Visit go.payability.com/pitch to get funded in as little as 24 hours and save up to $200. That's go.payability.com/pitch.
The judges really enjoyed Dave's pitch of his MMA bobbleheads. Let's see what kind of questions they have for him about his business.
You said you've launched a little sales. What have the sales been so far? I mean, good, bad, or indifferent. What are the numbers?
Okay, yeah, the sales started horrible, terrible. The first month, I think I made about $1,200. The second month, I jumped all the way to $4,000. Then we jumped to $7,000 after that. All the way to the last month, which was month 7 in October, we made $25,000. It was really unbelievable, the trajectory of the sales. But every fighter that I've released has been better than the last.
How much do one of these sell for, and how much does it cost for you to make one?
When I announce the fighter, we do a pre-sale. So during the pre-sale time, we'll sell them for $44.99. But then once the pre-sale is over after 2 weeks, then it goes to $49.99. The cost on making them landed, depending on the artwork, Steve, it's about $17 ballpark.
And are there licensing agreements with the fighters? You get to pay them a royalty on that?
Yes. So I make a deal with the fighter. It's straight up with every fighter. It's 15% gross revenue sales. So whether it's a non-autographed or an autographed bobblehead, that's what they make, 15%.
Okay. David, do you get an exclusive with each fighter when you do the bobblehead to say, hey, I'll do this with you, but you need to do an exclusive with me, or are they free to go do this with other people?
That's a great question, and absolutely, it's a 3-year exclusivity deal where they can't make action figures or bobbleheads with any other company. So I have them for 3 years.
So you're selling the bobblehead ultimately for $49.99. Your cost of goods is $17. You got 15% of gross revenue, so you're paying $7.50 to the fighter. And that's on top of the cost of goods. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And then not to mention, I forgot to mention that the fighter signs 150 autographed bobbleheads, and those sell for $75 a piece. Okay. In the beginning, when I launched the autographed bobbleheads, they sell 1-for-1 on the non-autographed ones. So I'm almost sold out on every single autographed bobblehead that I have. So the margins get very, very good from there.
Are there any licensing agreements or anything you have to do with the UFC themselves, or they don't have their hands in this at all?
There's no licensing agreements with the UFC. They like it. They've been very supportive. In fact, they did a big interview with me about 2 weeks ago, and Dana White, who's the owner of the UFC, did a video of all my bobbleheads and put it on his Instagram and was very complimentary towards the bobbleheads. And in a matter of a few days, it got 300,000 views. It blew my mind. I mean, I'm a grown man. I don't really get choked up much, but when I saw that video, to see the guy who started what I'm doing give me just any acknowledgement, really, it was phenomenal.
It looks like Dave has started to get some positive traction and attention for his bobbleheads. He is facing some challenges, though. Dave feels he needs to improve his marketing efforts as he is primarily using social media due to a lack of funding for different strategies. This is because he is pouring all his revenue back into the creation of more bobbleheads. Additionally, the fighters contribute only minimally to the marketing effort themselves through their own social media. And Dave has a huge list of fighters waiting for their bobbleheads who are currently on the back burner.
Is it a problem of you not being able to make them because it's time constraints on you because you are physically doing this? It's a process, or is it more of the financial issue of you not having the capital? Because I would think that you could pre-sell and get that capital before you even make them.
Yeah, okay, so I work with artists and fighters, so timetables are all over the place, right? It would be a dream to make 2 or 3 at one time. I can do it. I can physically do it. It's the capital that goes into these that I'm lacking. But at the same time, I'm at the point of this company where I'm ready to tackle like 2, maybe even 3 bobbleheads fighters at once.
So the $50,000 would go towards producing more bobbleheads.
I mean, if in order of priority, absolutely. That's by far the number one. I would love to make 2 to 3, but marketing would be awesome. That would be kind of number 2 to get the word out there. I feel like I have 0 brand awareness.
What is your plan for marketing with that $50K?
I'm very coachable, guys, to be honest with you. And I don't know a lot about marketing. I'm very grassroots. But when we're talking about like SEO and PPC and optimization, I'm clueless. And what I would do with the money and education would be really huge for me. And I would love to use that money, to make more bobbleheads at once, but to educate myself and maybe get some consulting and then also marketing too.
Dave, if you did get the $50,000, would you be willing to do a special edition Steve Chu 6-pack shirtless bobblehead if we all helped you market it with our list and things like that? Is that something you'd be open to? Okay,
Absolutely.
perfect.
Just make sure that the packs are very crisp.
Great job.
Dave, we've
Awesome
enjoyed
pitch.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming on.
After the pitch, I caught up with Dave to see how he feels now that his pitch is over.
It was great. I had a great time. I think it went really well. The 5 minutes went super fast. And speaking to the panel of guys about my business, it's like a dream come true.
Dave's enthusiasm and passion for his project is through the roof. Let's see if the judges put him through to the next round.
First of all, I loved Dave's enthusiasm, and clearly he's very talented. He actually sent us bobbleheads, and they looked fantastic. And I have a buddy who makes bobbleheads, and I just noticed that the artwork on his were very intricate. He's got a great audience, MMA, it's an untapped market, and here's what I like about it. The fact that he wasn't doing any marketing at all, and he was making a lot of sales just says something.
It's always a good sign, right?
Which is a great sign, yeah. So with just a little bit more effort, like he could just blow this out of the water.
Yeah, I really liked it. One thing that stood out to me was when the samples came around. They were beautifully done. From the unboxing to the quality of the packaging to just the product itself, it was just premium. And so that was great. Love the margins on his products. And I love the fact that he had 3-year exclusive deals with the fighters. That's big. I mean, that's, we're all looking for something that you can't rip off, right? Mm. And to me, combined with his sales numbers, 25K in the last 7 months, from 0 or almost 0 7 months ago. Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, I loved his excitement, his passion, and then how the idea came to him and how he went out there and just, found a way. And it kind of how it all came to him, but then how he also went out and got it once he seen what he could do with it. And he just needs help marketing. And I think he knows that, which I think is another problem with some business owners is they don't realize they need that, but he does need that. So yeah, I'm excited about where he can go.
He's got an open mind also.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, for me, amazing product. I mean, the thing it's not something I would ever buy because I'm not into bobbleheads, and I'm not in MMA enough to want to purchase it. But being in e-commerce long enough, I fully understand high quality products, being in a niche that people are really passionate about. I love the defensibility of this. I mean, having a product that, as you were saying, has a 3-year at least defensibility window. He signed up with all the big players in this niche. So like getting other people on board is going to be a shoo-in. And this is like the guy to go to. As long as he can keep that trust up, he'll own this niche probably for eternity. I mean, I love that. On the downside, the things I worry about is like where he goes from here, not having the marketing and other experience. But I think that it's such a strong play that he'll find his way there probably no matter what. And I just see a lot of good things going for this brand.
Yeah. What's not to like about Dave? Come on. He's an awesome guy. Love the margins. I love that market. It's a growing market and have some really passionate fans inside that particular market. I would also encourage him to try to get the fighters to promote these deals a little more.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys have huge Instagram followings, just like huge followings in general. If he can do that, that's really good. But the hardest part of all this to me is trying to get the fighters to sign these deals to do the bobbleheads, right?
Yeah.
Like the barrier of entry there is high. So he has something that's pretty defensible and I like it. So with that being said, let's do some voting.
Yeah, let's do it.
Steve?
Yeah, absolute yes.
Yeah, I'm in, yes.
100% yes.
Yeah. Yes for me as well.
Easy yes.
All right, we got a 5 yes.
Good work.
Congratulations, guys. Moving on.
Congratulations, Dave. You're moving on to the deliberation round. Next time on 5-Minute Pitch.
One of the main things that people say is, oh my God, I love your packaging. The colors just speak to me.
Are you pitching your coffee company as a high end, a medium end, or a low end?
High end.
High end, okay.
High end. This is not the Popov's vodka. This is the Grey Goose, the top shelf coffee.
The coffee market is just brutal. I mean, it's so competitive.
To the most popular athlete in MMA. So I typed in Conor McGregor bobblehead. Nothing.